So my name is Daya Xu, and I come from China. I don't like people think I'm good at math just because I'm Chinese. Sometimes, like when I'm doing my group work for like a group work, we need to allocate our own part, and they may think like you from China, you are Asian, you are good at math, and they will let me do something like budget, yes, and accounting. But honestly I'm not good at that, and I can say like, oh, I can do that.
My name is Sakshi. I am Indian, but my parents moved to Malaysia about 25 years ago, so I was born and brought up there. And I studied at an international school, and under a British curriculum. And then I moved here a few years ago to do uni. I actually cried the night I arrived to Australia, the first time I came, because it was the first time I've ever come to Australia my entire life. My parents have been here, but I hadn't. And I cried the first night because several years ago I heard about that the big riot that took place in Australia, where where white people were throwing and targeting Muslims and Indians and stuff. So that sort of set me back as a kid, and it made me not want to come here. So when I came here, I cried. But then I realized it's not as bad as it seems on TV all the time. And it's actually, I mean, there are stuff obviously that can be changed, but it's not as terrible as I imagined. I'm trying to think what's the worst stereotype I've ever gotten. I don't think Australians have ever said anything mean to me per se. It's just that they don't realize that what they're saying is not okay sometimes. When I used to work, I would get customers coming to me and saying, "Oh, you look Indian," and I'd be like, "Yeah, I am," and they'll be like, "Oh wow, your English is so good," and I'd just be, "Yeah, thanks." Went to a school, studied, so of course my English is good. I am tired of people thinking that I have terrible English just because I am Indian, and then I also have people being like, "Oh, you're Indian? So do you run around behind trees and sing songs and sing a song for me in Indian?" I'm like, it's not Indian, it's Hindi, and that is not what happens there. Yeah, basically that's it. And it's just such a weird thing because people don't think it's racist or that it's mean, but literally even my friends ask me, "Oh my god, your English is so good," and that just bothers me so much.
My name is Mandy, and I'm 18 years old, and I'm from China. I came to Australia last year. People think Chinese people should know Kung Fu, but that is not true. My neighbor told me that to get off his country. Then when I was passing through their house, then he was like, "Oh, you ching chong, that word." And he was speaking out to me. I was like, "What did you just say?" And he said, "Oh, get off my country."
Okay, my name's Erin Jory. My dad is Australian and my mum is Thai. I was born in Perth, and then when I was 3.5, I moved to Thailand, lived there for 9 years, came back to Perth, and then moved to Brisbane. To me personally, I think I'm really lucky. I don't get usually racist remarks at all. I don't really get any. I think it's because people can't really tell that I'm from Asia. You can't really tell where I'm from, so I could be Spanish or Greek or anything. But sometimes I can feel it that they are looking at me differently, and it's a weird feeling. Hey, it's they look at you and there's nothing else that could be there aside from that you're not white. But that's not very common. But to Thai people specifically, you usually a lot of people assume that you work at a Thai massage place and you're a prostitute. That's the one terrified of people thinking that Thai people work in a massage parlour and pay prostitutes.
My name is Shirley. I'm 22 years old. I'm Chinese Australian, so my dad and mum, they're from Hong Kong, but I was born and raised in Australia. I definitely think that people in Australia do sometimes judge people by their skin colour. Personally, I haven't experienced it very much, but I have heard of some stories of my friends experiencing discrimination, but I've been lucky enough to not have gone through that. I think the main stereotype that people might assume about me is that I would have an accent just because of the way I look, but a lot of the time they're pleasantly surprised because I have a very Australian accent. I get annoyed when people assume that I have an accent due to my Asian appearance. Even at work the other day with a new co-worker, she was very surprised. She told me I was very Australian, and I found that quite interesting, not offensive, but very interesting because obviously she had looked at me and assumed that I was non-Caucasian, and but I guess my accent really kind of threw her off.